What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about LCX today at the request of me because I want to talk about it, man. This is actually one of my more recently purchased coins, sitting at 15.46 cents right now. I want to say I bought on this red day here, the first of these three red days, basically at like this relative high, right? And then it went lower. I actually sold and then bought back in down there for wash trading, right, which is legal in crypto. You can actually claim what I did there. In case it's not clear, I'm going to use numbers here, okay, real quick. For anybody who's new to this idea or concept, it is completely legal. You can look it up. Look up, is the wash rule applied to crypto? It's not. The IRS recognizes this. TurboTax recognizes this. Anyways, let's use round numbers just to make it easy, okay? This is not accurate, okay? Just so you know, I could have less, I could have more, but just for funsies here. $1,000, right? Let's say you had $1,000 that you bought up here, okay? And then it went down. It went down, right? And I didn't buy the actual high. Let's just say I bought the daily close. I actually bought a little bit above that, but let's just say I bought there. And I sold around this daily close. It was like a 10% loss, okay? For me, I think it was actually like an 11 point something percent loss that I sold. I've got the math and all that stuff written down for tax purposes. But anyways, I bought here $1,000 worth, right? Lost 10%. Let's just say that to keep it round. That means that I have now $900. Now, if I sell down here and I buy it back immediately, right? And I did. I basically I bought back to where I had a little bit more LCX than I did before. Sell and I buy back, I've claimed a loss. Now in the stock world, you can't buy back within a 31-day period. You have to wait 31 days, otherwise it's wash trading because they're securities. With cryptos, they're not defined as securities, the wash rule does not apply. So you can actually sell and buy back the same day and claim those losses for tax purposes, right? So you have $900. Now, whenever it's the end of the year, right, if I hold this thing until the end of the year, which I will, I have an extra $100 in deductions to apply to any and all taxes that I owe, right? So that's just how that works, man. It's pretty cool stuff, you guys, to take advantage of stuff like that, right? But that's not what it sounds so insignificant, right? At $1,000, but that's just 10% at 1,000, and 10% is great. But like if you have 10,000, well then you're saving 1,000. If you have 100,000, then you're saving 10,000, right? Bigger numbers here. If it moved down more than 10%, if you have a crypto that's down a lot right now, the trick is though, guys, you need to sell and then buy back in, because if you sell, you're selling ideally at a point that's down. You don't want to sell the low and get out. You want to sell and buy back in to claim those losses, because if it goes back up, man, then you're really claiming those losses. But a little bit of a sidetracked kind of conversation there. Let's get into the TA. 15.47 right now, that's what we're at. LCX, I really like this token. I bought it on a whim. I really just bought it on a whim. It's kind of it's a token that I really didn't think I'd be talking about at all, but as I've looked into it more, I feel more confident and comfortable talking about it. So I've made a few videos on it, you know, since I've purchased it. When I say I bought it on a whim, I literally bought it because I was watching a video from another YouTuber, and he said, don't buy the 412th crypto market cap coin. And because he said that, I looked it up at the time, the 412th coin, and it was LCX. Now LCX is up more than that. It's gained some ground. I forget, right? 383. But I took it as like a sign of irony, a moment of irony that I could capitalize on potentially. I don't know. And it's doing well. Of course, looking at the charts, it's also in a very good spot as well, right? From a previous area of resistance to a current area of support. Definitely a nice look in itself. If we look at the relative low here to the relative high here, is that right? Was it this low to this high? For some reason, I thought you're directly at your 618, but that's cool. Maybe this low to high, you're right at your 0.5. That looks better. This doesn't look too normal, but whatever, it's fine. You didn't even hit your 618. That's bullish enough, and maybe you didn't need to, because again, you found support at previous areas of resistance back here. At any rate, though, you know, buying it on a whim, the chart looked nice to me. I liked the idea of it, and you know, as I looked more into into this coin itself, it definitely seems interesting. It seems like a promising coin. So I definitely would recommend that anybody who wants to buy this coin look into it themselves. Don't just take it on my account. But 15.47 right now, the next area that I would look to, genuinely, right? We're just going to jump to the point. From a high to a low, you moved up to your 1618 perfectly, and then you pulled back down A little bit deeper of a pull down than you would normally see, but it's fine. It's totally healthy. This is actually like the pretty common area that you pull to. And you did close on a monthly basis right at your common area to pull back to. From a high to a low, relative high to low here, and this is a smaller retracement zone than this is. Just keep that in mind, because being that it's smaller, to me, leaves the door open for deeper extensions, right? We topped off at the 1618 last time. This is smaller than this one here, so this leaves the door open, in my opinion, to see deeper moves, is all I'm trying to say. But genuinely, I expect, we're at 15.47 cents right now, I expect that this move is going to take us up to this 58-cent zone to 93-cent zone, somewhere in there, by the end of this year, by the end of 2024. If not, again, potentially deeper, right? Potentially we could see prices at $1.34 or deeper. If not by the end of 24, certainly by the end of this move, which I would expect would be, sometime in the beginning of 2025, the first half of 2025. So it's looking good, man. It's definitely looking good. Just talking about it right now because it's had a decent week. I think compared to most of my portfolio, this thing's actually had a nice week. Last week it moved up 18%. It's only up 5% this week, but really strong looking RSI holding this oversold zone. It looks weak right now, to be fair. This is the weak readings, but being overbought multiple times, not being oversold multiple times, that's actually a sign of strength than it is a sign of weakness. So getting back above the 40, looking like you're just ripping up there, man. I really do think that this thing, when it moves up, it likes to move up fast, right? You can see it, right? It's a very short existence of a chart. It's only been around since 2021, end of the last bull cycle, but it's a very nice rounding of a bottom there. You've got a nice structure here with your higher lows and your higher highs, right? And both of the times that you have moved up, you've moved up very fast. This one noticeably slower than this one here, larger overall, but still fast nonetheless. This could be right now, this 3-week period here that we've got, right? These last 3 green weeks, this could be the beginning of the next move that's comparable to this. And I actually want to take this a little bit more seriously here. Let's look and see if we were to draw from a low point to a high point, do that there. And then we were to draw, maybe not from a low point this time, but just from like the start of the move, right? Because these are pretty close, but the start of the move, it's so much further away. We'll just do the low point of the start of the move all the way up to the high point there, right? And maybe not the high point. That's a little further. Maybe we'll just do the end of the move there, okay? Being conservative. It's better to be conservative to get like a... if you're more conservative, you'll be surprised pleasantly whenever it exceeds your expectations. If you have high expectations and it doesn't meet them, then you'll be disappointed. Which one sounds better, right? So anyways, from this low point here, that's kind of far away, so I guess we could take it from this low if this is the beginning of the move. This move could take us based off of our last move, maybe somewhere around 93 cents. Hey, that makes sense, right? We've got targets up there from a high to a low, right there at a 1618. Boom, perfect. It makes complete sense. Certainly we could see this kind of move as well, right? A little bit smaller from a high to a low there. That's all the way at 63 cents. That also sounds pretty familiar. From high to a low, right there above your 1272 as well. So definitely this primary zone is something to focus on, I think. But being that we've only had 2 instances of positive price action in this thing's history, like prolonged positive instances, it's very possible that we could see a move that is smaller than this one, that is larger than this one, right? It could be something in between them. It could be something that's outside of both of them. But regardless, based off of what we've seen before, it certainly does fit very well with the what I've coined as I can't talk today, man. I don't know what it is. Watch all my videos today. I can't talk today, man. But what I've coined as the expected area. A lot of things do make sense, especially with these previous moves, for this expected area to be hit. So, and I would expect that to happen in a very short amount of time. Very, very short amount of time. Right, you moved from January here, beginning of January, to literally the same month, not even the end of January, right? Literally from the first week of January to not even the last week technically of January. I guess close enough to the last week, basically the last week of January. Whole month to move up. Here it took you from the end of November, and then you finished your move. Like you had your high here, but you finished your move really in the beginning of February. So November, December, January, February, right? Basically not even 3 months, not even, it's like 2.5 months there. So here it is, end of September right now, a month, 2.5 months later. Where are we going to be potentially, right? High to low, 58 cents to 93 cents, and potentially higher. Being that this was a short amount of time, this was longer, could this take longer? Sure. Maybe it's not 2.5 months, maybe it's 3.5 months. We're at the end of September now, so we have all of October, November, December. Sometime by the end of the year, guys, I feel very comfortable saying that this thing is going to do some crazy stuff. I want to buy more, man, and I just might, but I might wait. Why would I wait? I think it's about to take off now. I don't know, man. If I was looking to buy LCX right now, and I am, I wouldn't wait at all, actually. I think it'd be a good time to get in right now. But not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If this sounds good to you, right, from a current price point to 58 cents minimum, if a 3.7x to a 6x sounds good for you with the potential of going higher by the end of the year, if that sounds good to you, if you want a little diversity in your portfolio, this might be a good one to add. I just wonder, what about Bitcoin Cash? Because I'm expecting it to do some stuff by the end of the year. What do I expect this thing to do? This might be my determinant factor here. I'm on the 4 hour. No wonder it's so damn small. Let's see. So I'm expecting like 1,300 to 1,700 by the end of the year. So that's about a 3.7x. It's like a 5x. Yeah, pretty close, pretty similar. But this one I think is a little bit better. Yeah, just a little bit better. Interesting. All right. Anyways, guys, food for thought. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It definitely does to me. It looks like we are in the very, very, very beginning right now of one of these moves, right? It just, to me, that's what I think. And probably more comparable to this, less comparable to this, but we'll see. Especially as volume comes in, as we start moving up, as things start kicking off across the space. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.